What's up, guys? Hope all is well. Hey, I wanted to we're going to start doing different types of podcasts for the Brand Builder TV. We're going to be bringing guests on weekly, sharing what their business is, how they're branding, how they're marketing in 2020 versus 2004, and some of the things and struggles that they've gone through to get to where they're at. And we're going to, as always, right, bring you behind that black curtain. They're going to share who they are, where they came from, where they're at today, and where they see themselves going, and tying in their personal and their business brand. And we want to give as much value as we can. So we're going to be on a lot of different platforms with this show and adding more and more as we start to grow and evolve. But I also want to do some real practical one-on-one, if you will, shows. So we're going to start to implement those on a weekly basis and I'm going to be sharing things that I share and teach and coach in my 90-day Brand Builder Bootcamp. And one of the main things I want to start off with today is our foundation. Now, I give these out as handouts, and as you can see, I actually use them on a daily basis. I give them out as handouts when I'm live on stage, and we also will put a link for the PDF for this. But let me share with you why this is so powerful. It's such an awesome, simple, very effective, and applicable instantly. And for me, that's such a perfect trifecta. If it becomes too complicated, right, people aren't going to do it. They're not going to be able to implement it. They're not going to be able to use it right away. And for me, I want to be able to use it now. How's it going to help me now? And we're going to talk, and we're also going to break the one-on-one shows up, the shows that I'm just on by myself with the practical along with the personal development. So we're going to integrate both each week. So I'm not sure, we might do 1 week personal development, the next week practical, or just kind of blend them in. We'll see how it goes. For anyone that's followed me on Monster Motivator TV, man, we're just the less structured, the better for me, man. I just want to, I can't be in a box. Let's just roll with it. So let's start with what I consider the foundation for branding in 2020 versus 2004 and tying in your marketing. And obviously, it's so important to understand the times we're living in. Your personal brand will trump your business brand if it's done properly, and you actually want that to happen, because when you can build your business or your personal brand to a certain level, that's your security. No matter what you do, where you go, that's your security. Your personal brand is everything, and anybody that has social media platform is a global brand, whether they like it or not. So let's jump right into this. This is the, as I mentioned before, the handout, right? And I just did a little overview on the whiteboard. So there's 4 steps to this blueprint, this signature story, and why your signature story is so important. First of all, before I jump into that, when you can understand this and start to implement this and use this, you will be able to use this on any digital stage, any physical stage, and any time that you're talking to somebody and you want to share your story, your stories, your testimonials, your social proof, and then also things that you actually teach. So let me break it down for you. This is such a powerful, simple, and effective formula that you're going to be able to utilize instantly. So first is connect. Now, for this actual episode, I want you to think about you being on stage or a digital stage, a podcast, a webinar, and think about it in that way. And then once you grasp that and start to actually utilize this, and we go deep in the 90-day Brand Builder Bootcamp with this, but once you start to get used to utilizing this, then you can actually play with it, break it down, chop it down, chunk it down to fit wherever you're going and wherever you happen to be to promote your personal and your business brand. So that being said, the first is you need to connect. right out of the gates, if you're taking that stage after your intro, after the intro on the podcast, the webinar, you want to connect instantly, right? You want to connect right away. So, and you want to connect with their heart. So you want to share. Now, depending on how much time you have, right, is how much you need to either chop that down or expand it for however long they give you. But connect. You want to connect with their heart. You want to connect my overall theme in business is trust. And everything's going to map back to trust. So when you start to connect with that personal story, right, with your, after you get, what I do, after I get introduced, I'll jump in and give my quick little bio, right, which edifies me, but also shows in my bio, I share a little bit of the struggle, right, even from the very beginning. Then I jump right in to a personal story that connects with the audience and also shares that valley, right, that dip that we have, and then climbs right back out of it. And here's one of the things that's so important with personal stories is you want to be able to share your vulnerability becomes your credibility. That's the bottom line. And you got to start to get comfortable with being vulnerable if you want to connect on a different level in today's world, in all the social media, and be able to rise above the noise in your industry. So right out of the gates, you want to connect with a heartfelt story after your bio, right? And what that does is give me an example of I'm creating my talk for the CEO Women's event, the 2-day event in Escondido here. So I have some notes here, right, that I'm going to talk about, and some comments, some quotes that's going to now tie in to the brand, to the actual branding in 2020 versus 2004. Then my bio, right, my quick overview bio. And remember, when you write out your intro, that's going to be part of your little bio as well, and that's going to connect. You want to make sure that your intro connects right out of the gates, and you want something that's going to get people's attention. So my bio, the way it's worded and constructed is, as soon as the event planner introduces me, now I have something that's going to make people get their attention and make them laugh on my behalf, my expense, which is one of the best ways to connect with people, as long as it's true, as long as it's honest. Next is, I call it my Tommy story. That's one of my full 60, 90-minute keynotes, but I chunk that down. So that Tommy story really connects with people, especially with my audience. My audience is commission sales, high-end commission sales, multiple 6 and 7 figure business owners. So my Tommy story just connects pretty deep. And then I get into some other things in this category that's going to connect. But ultimately, my intro, my bio, and my Tommy story, right? My intro, my bio, and my Tommy story is really the meat and potatoes of this pillar, connect with your heart. Next is going to be teach. You want to be able to connect with the heart. Once you connect with the heart, now you have their attention. You have their emotions, right? Everything's about emotions. And if they can connect with you on that heart level, now you really have their undivided attention. And not only that, you have cheerleaders now, right? You have people that want to know what you know. They want to see you win. And then as we start to progress in this, you're going to start to see they want to start to win with you. How do they actually win with you? So next is teach. So we want to connect with your heart. Teach with the head, right? Now we have their attention. And one of the things that I do when I do this handout, the signature story, is I start with what we're doing now, which is an overview, a 30,000-foot view of what we get into when I work with coaching clients, the signature story, the blueprint, right? And then I talk about another part of, or another section of one of my digital programs, Authentic Brand Builder, which is a digital program, and it's part of the 90-day Brand Builder Bootcamp. And that is 7 levels deep, right? And a lot of times I'll even, depending on the platform, or depending on the stage, I'll actually print out from the workbook the 7 levels deep, because it really, and then go over that with them. Now, if I'm on a podcast or a webinar, I'll explain it, break it down, and then leave a link a lot of times in. So I'm giving as much value as I can. That's the goal, right? I'm giving so much value as I can. Give you an example real quick, not to jump off to another subject, but since we're talking about that, one of the things I do to connect with people on LinkedIn is offer them an opportunity to get on Brand Builder TV, and I break down on top of inviting them on to edify and promote and brand and market their business, their brand, their personal brand, their business brand. We also offer some other things on the back end, and we offer so much that there's people on a consistent basis, a weekly basis, that reply and say, hey, I'd love more information, and how much does this cost? Now, it's free. That's the key, right? You want to be able to give so much value that they can't say no, or it would be crazy for them to say no. Honestly, that's the key to success. Give as much value as you can, and then a little bit more. So 7 levels deep, okay? So I'm going to break down the signature story, our foundation. They're going to actually have it in their hands, right? Not every time, but a lot of times. They're also going to have the 7 levels deep in their hands, right? We're going to break that down. Now, depending on how long I have, an hour, 45 minutes, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, even if it's 15 minutes, when you understand how to break this down, you can chunk all those down, and you're going to be able to hit each one of those just in a quicker time frame, right? So, and I'll go over that with you too. So, third, connect, right? Connect even on a deeper level. So you connect it with their heart, your connection, your personal stories, your bio, your intro. Then you shared real world practical steps on what you teach, where you've been, and how why you teach that. I jumped ahead a little bit of myself because you save that to the end. So you want to connect, not even with the heart now. You want to combine the heart, the head, and now the soul. See, that's security, right? People want to know, how do you create security? How do you create trust, right? When you can get to that soul level, now you created the ultimate trust. And look, at the end of the day, I throw up on people when I talk about this because it's so important. Brand loyalty is king, especially, and personal brand loyalty is absolutely premium king. And that maps to, brand loyalty is king because it maps to trust. That's why back in the day, before social media, all these big conglomerates, right? Coca-Cola, Pepsi, I don't care who it is, they put so much money into creating trust on both ends, on their marketing strategies, on their branding strategies, and then on their PR. They had a backup, right? To if something went sideways, if they had an athlete, right, or an entertainer representing their brand, and something went sideways with that entertainer, that that athlete, a lot of times they'll cut ties, but they also now need to do some work, right? They gotta, there's a leak in the boat now. They gotta tape up that leak with the PR. That's how important and how powerful gaining trust is. And now the game has changed, because now the trust is about your personal brand, not just your business brand. And when you do this right in today's world, your personal brand will trump your business brand, and your business brand always wants to catch up in today's world. So connect with your soul. So give me an example. Again, I'm talking about my Monster Momentum Morning and how much that has changed my life and other people's lives, right? When they start to implement that on a daily basis. And I go a little bit deeper. And again, that's a whole nother area that we go really, really, really deep and consistent, and make sure there's accountability with the Monster Momentum Morning, with the 4 different types of meditation. Then I talk about the daily gift list, right? And how much that has changed my life, those little things, and I break that down. So now, right, we're starting to connect. Remember, we already connected with the heart, right? And now you're showing them real world value. So you're connecting with the head. Now you're starting to implement and bring in the soul, right? And here's how you really drive that home. Now you share another story, right? So you can either do one of 2 things. You can leave an open loop with your original story and bring that around and end it here. Or if you have even a more powerful story, you want to leave that for here, because now that's going to connect the heart, the head, and the soul. And here's the last piece of this that I think so many people forget, is social proof, right? Between you, your history, what you've done, and how you've implemented and created success with the things that you teach, right? And also your social proof when it comes to your clients or your customers. So you want to integrate both of those, right? And for me, so much that I teach has come from the 3 businesses that I've built and sold. The business that I'm actually running today from Southern California, that I have been building since 2013, my fire restoration, and then also Dave Daly International, keynote speaking, business coaching, podcasting, right? So I tie all that in along with testimonials, along with those real world stories. So social proof, now what does that map to? So think about this, right? Social proof, either yours, theirs, meaning your clients, customers, or preferably both, yours and theirs, right? And for me, because I've built and sold 3 companies in 3 different industries, and they were both 2 of them were one was product selling products, and the other was nutritional products, and then the other 2 were service based. But to be honest with you, even the product business was service based. And that's what really helped us explode in the worst economy that we've known since the Depression. I bought the company, a struggling sports nutrition store, in 2008, and flipped it in 2012 because the numbers made enough sense to flip it. And the reason we were able to do that is because we looked at it as a service-based business. So anyway, that's just a little side note. But if you follow this blueprint, you're going to connect with the heart instantly, right away. Get their attention. Create cheerleaders. Create the people that want to see you win, right? Then hit them with real value. Hit them with real practical information, right? Now you're connecting on a different level, here and here. Now, next, right? When you follow this, and again, we go deep with the 90-day brand builder bootcamp. Now you're connecting on the soul level. So now you have that trifecta, heart, head, and soul, which maps to trust every single time. And just to make sure that that trust is completely nailed down deep as the foundation, right? That's my theme for everything. Trust trumps everything. You're going to actually now share with them your success stories, your customer success stories, and your client success stories. So guys, hopefully this helped. Hopefully you got some real world value out of this. And again, everything that I'm sharing, we go real deep on those 90-day brand builder bootcamp. Anybody's interested, shoot me out a message on Facebook, Instagram, email, and we'll put all the links in there. And yeah, so feel free to hit me up. And guys, thanks so much for taking the time. Thanks for watching this. If you do get value from this, man, feel free to share it. I really appreciate it. And I love doing this. This becomes my oxygen. Between that and interviewing people, this is we're gonna explode this. So guys, thanks so much. Let me do it one way around here. Come on, it's the motivator style, baby. Ah.